If you guys have ever seen my Terra video, then you got a taste of how I feel about the Kingdom Hearts series at this point in time. Well, I mean, if you haven't, thank God. It's been a while since we got any Kingdom Hearts 3 footage, so I figured I'd make a list of things I'd want to see improve upon before the game is released. I should probably remind you that these are my opinions, and to not get your panties all in a bunch. But this is a Kingdom Hearts video, so... Now, playing these Kingdom Hearts games, you should feel sort of wonderment just going to all the Disney worlds. But the majority of them come off feeling lifeless. Especially replaying Dream Drop Distance, it feels more of a chore to play through these worlds than actually enjoying it. The worlds, yeah, are massive due to the flow motion mechanic implemented in there, but there isn't really much to do in these worlds. Yeah, the same can be said about a lot of the games in the series, but some of the previous games had at least memorable locales, level design that cater to where you are, and small details that make the worlds have some soul in it. Flow motion just throws all that shit out the window. Why would you care about any of that? The huge arenas are just wall-bouncing playgrounds, so you could just blow right through them just to get to the next cutscene. And the argument would be, yeah, you have flow motion, but you get glide, float, and dashing in all the other games. But you had to... work. Flow motion is one of the first new mechanics that you learn about in the game. It's insane! Where is the balancing? One of my all-time favorite Disney movies, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, ultimately is a shallow world to visit. They got the scope right, but everything around it just... bleh. I shouldn't feel bored in a Kingdom Hearts game representing my favorite movie.
Alright. Nice. Sweet. You can hide that body, but that smell? Ooh, there's no covering up.
This is actually a huge deal. Now that everyone has the opportunity to play all these past Kingdom Hearts games in 60 frames per second, you've put Kingdom Hearts 3 at a real disadvantage. It was really jarring to jump between Dream Drop Distance and 0.2 and not really feeling quite as smooth as the other. It's the same way I felt with Uncharted 4 after playing the original trilogy with the PlayStation 4 remasters. The graphics look nice, I'll get into that in a bit. But the series aims to be an action game with fast combat, so having that boost in frame rate could really benefit Kingdom Hearts 3. Whether or not they actually do it is entirely on how much they refine the game to meet those requirements. And from the looks of it, they want this game to look as big and as extravagant from what's shown in 0.2. We could get lucky and have a 60 frames per second patch on PlayStation 4 Pro, but that would mean a small majority of people get to enjoy that game at its best. Say what you will about the gummy ship missions in the first Kingdom Hearts game, but they weren't that bad. If you upgraded the ship, that is. But in Kingdom Hearts 2, they cranked that shit to 11 and had amazing set pieces. And not to mention a kick-ass soundtrack for the missions. Missions had a better and more memorable soundtrack than all of 358. Like, what the fuck? Whatever you guys did with Kingdom Hearts 2, do it again, but better. Since you're going to compromise the 60 frames per second for graphics, make it look amazing.
Marvin, what do you make of all this?
Man, I don't even have an opinion.
Well, you gotta have an opinion. I mean, do you think that God came down from heaven and stopped that?
What the fuck's happening? Oh,
man,
shit.
man. Oh, man, I shot Marvin in the face.
Why the fuck you do that?
Over a bump or
Hey,
something.
the car ain't hit no motherfucking bump.
Hey, look, man, I didn't mean...
I fucking hate the lock-on for Kingdom Hearts. It's one of the most frustrating aspects in this series, and it's a travesty that it's been 15 years and they still can't get this shit right. We've all been there. There's an enemy right in front of you, you lock on and it locks onto either another enemy in a different direction, an environmental item, or a fucking treasure chest. All I'm asking for is something. Better than goddamn punching bags. Even in standard mode, your teammates will just eat shit every time. And while we're at it, I really hope Kingdom Hearts 3 has some more party members. Now, I know the other games weren't main series games, but it was disappointing that I couldn't have more Disney characters as teammates. Birth by Sleep kinda sucked in that aspect, as you're just going world from world by yourself, which in a story aspect makes sense, but there were some missed potentials. It did things here and there by having party members during pivotal fights, but for the most part, you're just stuck with D-Links. And Dream Drop Distance, get that fucking thing out of my face. With the possibility of the worlds in Kingdom Hearts, we can have more than just Disney teammates. Maybe some Square teammates. I'm not saying Marvel or Star Wars. I mean, I would fucking love if they were in that game, you know, but let's be reasonable, you know. Some more Disney and Square characters would be nice. How cool was it to have Auron? I didn't even know who he was, and I was like, I get a gimped version of Guts? Are you kidding me? That's fucking awesome. You have this entire controller. Use the goddamn shoulder buttons. Stop making dash and block the same fucking button every time. Square, listen. You really want people to get hyped for these games? You want those pre-orders? Because let me tell you, people will buy your next Kingdom Hearts game regardless of what it is. Just look at 2.8. Just go ahead and make that special edition or whatever the fuck you name it amazing. It gets pretty tiring to get small incentives for a game series that's been prolonged for this much. An art book? Great. Pins. Pins? Fucking pins! Yeah, I know, the 2.5 PlayStation 3 Special Edition was cool, but you were basically paying for both 2.5 and 1.5, and most of us already had 1.5 at that point. How cool would have it been getting memorabilia for every Kingdom Hearts game in the 1.5, 2.5 collection? A Sora necklace for Kingdom Hearts 1, Donald and Goofy cards for Chain of Memories, Roxas necklace for 2, a screenshot of the worst line in Kingdom Hearts history for 358, Aqua's Wayfinder for Birth by Sleep, and garbage for Recoded.
Okay, gang, can we do this? I mean, we can do this, right?
Right.
Squirrel!
I highly recommend you guys watch the Osaka videos listed here. They go into great detail as to why the most recent Kingdom Hearts games, more on Dream Drop and Birth by Sleep, were not as fantastic as Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2. But to summarize it, the original team that made 1 and 2 did not work on the games after. One of the more predominant games that people talk about in terms of quality is Dream Drop and Birth by Sleep, which were made by the different Square Enix division, the Osaka team. In terms of it looking like a Kingdom Hearts game, it has that, but in terms of combat, balance, and polish that the original two had, are severely lacking. Again, watch these videos guys, as it'll impact your viewpoints of Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm doing it! I'm doing it! Yeah! Yeah! And some of these, and some of these. Almost there, and done. Now let's see how it looks so far.
Have you guys ever seen that episode of South Park with Al Gore? The one specifically where he's trying to prove to everyone how dangerous Man Bear Pig is, but no one was taking him seriously because of how absurd it was? Yeah, that's Kingdom Hearts in a nutshell. The writing is so... The biggest problem with Kingdom Hearts nowadays is its overall balance of writing, character development, and story. The story became so confusing.
My future self gave me a task: to visit the splintered versions of myself in many worlds and ensure they gathered here today.
From the past?
It's a fucking mess. A character like Terra is just as bland as they come. We're supposed to feel sad for him because of his inevitable fate, but he's not given enough time to actually develop, and the time that is there shows that he's just a droning character. Why do we care about these characters? How in the fuck is there more personality in a character that's there for 5 minutes than the 7 hours of Terra? Holy shit. The series has become so absorbed in its own plot that it relegates the Disney worlds that you visit and just treats them as a ride. You go there, you experience it, It's fun, and forget about it. What happened to actually involving these characters into the overarching story? The
bloody biscuit.
talked about in his video how it was great seeing everything connect in the first Kingdom Hearts game. All the villains were aware of what was going on and joined forces. The Disney villains actually meant something to the whole story instead of just being another boss fight. I feel like this won't really be improved upon in Kingdom Hearts 3. We're so far up the convoluted mess that is the story that at this point we have a heartless version of a person, a nobody version of that same person, an old guy who possessed that someone, the same old guy's younger self that time travels? Time traveling. Time traveling.
Great Scott.
After all this, I hope once 3 comes out and we're through with this fucking Xehanort storyline, we can go back to a simple story like the original game. Really flesh out those characters, so we can actually care about them instead of telling us to feel something for them.
That is one big pile of shit.
I mentioned earlier that the HD remasters of Kingdom Hearts remind me a lot of Uncharted. Uncharted 4 sacrificed having frame rate that the remasters had. It instead went in favor of having amazing graphics. Let me tell you, that game looks fucking mental at times. The amount of screenshots I took with that in-game camera, it's really a game that takes your breath away every time. The same cannot be said with 0.2. I know it's supposed to be a demo to give a general view of how Kingdom Hearts 3 will ultimately be, but the art style and overall graphical fidelity the game strives for feels so off-tone. The original games had a nice cartoonish style to them that carried on throughout all of the series. The nice blend of cartoon and anime-esque looking characters really made everything pop out nicely. But in 0.2 and even in the trailers of Kingdom Hearts 3, everyone looks so plastic. It's disappointing to me especially because of the first trailer shown off after that E3 announcement. It looked so fucking gorgeous. I couldn't believe that Kingdom Hearts was going in this direction. It practically looked like the CG cutscenes we'd seen in the opening credits of the games. After the announcement of switching to Unreal Engine 4, and we got a closer look at how the game looked like with it, it started to look bad. It's been discussed to death that the original engine that they were using for Kingdom Hearts 3, the Lumos engine, was causing some problems, so Osaka opted in just using the Unreal Engine for the game. This is easily one of my biggest gripes with this game, and is actually really a lesson to some developers in general to not announce your game so early into development. It gave some false hope to a fan that was just scratching for any type of footage or screenshot of Kingdom Hearts 3. I really hope that the graphics and overall look of Kingdom Hearts 3 is polished enough by the time it comes out to give me a second opinion. It's been nearly 4 years since Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced, and it will exactly be 4 years once E3 comes around in the next couple of weeks. I'm kinda hoping for some more news on the game rather than the little bits and pieces we've been getting since the announcement. It is very concerning what state the game will end up as, since it's been 12 years since Kingdom Hearts 2, and since then, a lot of new storylines have been conceived. In the end, we'll just have to wait and see what new details will be shown. Is there any improvements you guys want to see in Kingdom Hearts 3? Or even the Kingdom Hearts franchise as a whole? Start saying them in the comments. Did you get pretty salty over what's been said in the 12-minute video? By all means, go and yell out to your heart's content, and I'll be sure to respond. You know what else the gummy missions are better than? All of Star Fox Zero.